Let's break it down. The Trump administration isn't just facing political heat over that boat operation in the Caribbean. Now there is a growing wave of legal experts saying this may not just be controversial, it may actually break important rules. I'm Imran, a Middle East-based analyst who follows US politics and global affairs. Let's look calmly at what the lawyers are saying. First, a quick reminder of what happened. On September 2nd, US forces targeted a small boat at sea that they said was part of a drug smuggling network. The first strike hit the vessel and threw people into the water. Then, according to multiple reports, there was a second strike on the same scene, and after that, nobody from that boat walked away. At first, officials tried to present this as a clean operation against narcotics traffickers, but as more details came out, something changed. You now have former Pentagon lawyers, experts in the law of armed conflict, and human rights specialists all asking the same question. Once the boat was already destroyed and the people were in the water, what was the legal reason to use more force? Under traditional rules for conflict, there is a basic idea. If someone is out of the fight, wounded, shipwrecked, or no longer able to resist, they must be treated humanely. You can't treat them the same way as active fighters. Some experts say that even if you accept the administration's claim that the crew were like combatants, once they were in the water with no boat, they fall into this out-of-combat category. At that point, another strike doesn't look like self-defense anymore. It looks like making sure no one leaves the scene. Others point out something even more basic. The United States is not officially at war with these people. These are suspected smugglers on unmarked boats in international waters. Normally, that is a criminal matter, not a battlefield. In that world, using missiles instead of arrests starts to look like an extreme shortcut around normal law enforcement rules. So how is Trump's team trying to defend this? They are leaning on a new legal theory that puts drug smuggling boats inside a kind of shadow conflict. The idea is, cartels and certain gangs are so violent that their boats can be treated almost like military targets. There are reports of a confidential memo that says it is lawful to use heavy force against unflagged vessels carrying cocaine because the profits feed armed groups. In simple language, if you can link the boat to dangerous networks, you can treat it more like a wartime threat than like a normal crime case. Legal critics are not convinced. They say this stretches the idea of self-defense far beyond what international rules were meant to cover. Some warn that if this logic stands, any powerful country could decide that our crime problem justifies airstrikes on boats or vehicles in other parts of the world. From where I'm sitting, outside the US, it feels like a very risky door being opened. If Washington can send missiles at a small boat in the name of protecting Americans from drugs, what stops another government tomorrow from doing the same in the name of protecting itself from gangs or terror, even when the people on that boat will never get a day in court? And remember, this isn't just theory. Families in coastal countries are already saying that some of the people on board were ordinary fishers or low-level workers, not high-ranking cartel bosses. For them, these legal debates in Washington don't feel abstract. They feel like explanations after the fact. So let's break it down one last time. The administration says the second strike on that boat was lawful and necessary. A growing list of legal experts says it may go against some of the clearest rules about when you can use force, especially against people who are no longer able to fight back. If this becomes the new normal for the war on drugs, the world will have to decide, is this really law, or is it simply power calling itself law? If you're in the US, or you've served in the military or studied these rules, I want to hear from you. Was this operation within the law, or did it cross a line that should worry everyone? This is Imran Breaks It Down, and we'll keep breaking it down together.